Hello and welcome to Blue Army TV. I'm sitting at Carlisle have beaten Bolton 3-1 away from home in what has got to be one of the best away days that I've been to. It's up there with the very best. You count the Wembley final as an away game. You think of Oldham when Simpson first came back to the club. There's been many good away days in our time, but that has to be up there. A dominant performance from Carlisle. The only negative really for me is obviously the own goal and not scoring more. That the main problem with this game is that it could have been more and probably should have been. Joe Garner misses a penalty. Sean Maguire misses a really good one-on-one that you'd expect him to score. And look, Bolton just weren't at it, and we were really, really good. Jordan Gibson, we'd a unique hat trick, we'll call it that. It's not the most glamorous hat trick you'll ever see in your life, but he deserves it so much. He's been fantastic this season, and he's starting to finally get the rewards. He got the goal last week. He's got 3 today. The first player to do so since, I believe, Nathan Thomas away as well at Forest Green Rovers in, I think that was 4-1 that game. But regardless, the first player to do it in quite a while, and especially to do it on a stage like that in front of 24,000 people, nearly, including 4,500 Carlisle fans. It's just an incredible away day. And a fantastic day all round. And look, to see that many Carlisle fans there, despite the difficulties with trains and getting down and everything like that, it shows the potential that this club has, that the PSX obviously see, that other investment groups obviously see. There is interest from other people, but the PSX are the ones that people are speaking about at the very least, and the one that looks like it's going to happen. And they'll look at a game like today. We've gone away to a historic ex-Premier League club in Bolton. We fetched the biggest number of away fans in League One by any club this season, and we've smacked them up in their own backyard. That's got to be, from a potential new owner, that's got to be something to get excited about. It really has, because it's just such a good performance today. And I think somebody who won't get the credit he deserves, because maybe, and rightfully so, Jordan Gibson will get a lot of credit for this game, but I think a player that I don't think we'd have won without is Alfie McCalmont. I think that's by far his best game in a Carlisle shirt to date. If it weren't for Jordan Gibson, he'd have been my man of the match. He was just everywhere. He was proper Leeds style pressing, and it's looking very difficult to drop him now. In the new system, he fits it perfectly. He's playing alongside Owen Moxon, which I thought would have been a slight difficulty in the past, especially in a 5-3-2, where I don't think you can have two players that similar next to each other in a midfield free. But in this new sort of 4-4-2/4-3-3 formation Simpson's got going on at the minute, he suits it perfectly, and he's so good, and he's played brilliantly these last couple of games, and it shows the quality that Paul Simpson's obviously seen, and what Greg Abbott's obviously seen when they've brought him back in on a permanent deal. And everyone played well today. Thomas Hawley, special mention. He's been given a lot of grief this season. He's been dropped, but since Anderson's been sent off, and Thomas Hawley's come back into the team, I think he just adds that bit of stability from the goalkeeping department that we didn't have under Anderson. I stand by the belief that Anderson is a more gifted goalkeeper. However, a lot of goalkeeping is mentality, and at the minute it just seems like Thomas Hawley has that edge over him in that regard, where you kind of trust him. And I know this could come back to bite me, and he has made mistakes in the past, but despite some of his poorer qualities in, say, not coming for crosses and things like that, he's a lot more reliable, and the team's obviously a lot more used to playing with him, and he's a lot more of a sturdy figure at the back that I think we need right now. And I'd be dumbfounded if we went back to Anderson at this point. Let's just keep the goalkeeper as it is for now, thank you very much. But yeah, special mentions to Joe Garner, even though he did miss the penalty, and it was an awful penalty. I think he won every header against a very tall Bolton team. And yeah, it was just a fantastic game all around today. To go to that kind of a ground, to play the way we did, I think we deserved this win, and I it was one of them games where from the moment I woke up that morning, I thought we were going to win. Like, I was really confident in the win. You can just feel it sometimes, but I always assumed that it would be a scrappy 2-1 that we've nicked in the last minute. But no, we've actually gone there and we've deserved it. You look at, I'm not such a big believer in the whole XG kind of thing, but you look at the XG from that game, we absolutely outclassed them. Yes, they had more possession, but if you don't do anything with that possession, it means nothing. And for me, Bolton, they're trying to do too much, and it's an Ian Evatt sort of failure that he's been accused of in the past as well. And obviously it's worked out. Bolton, he got them promoted from League 2 after all. But for me, they just tried to do too much. They take corners short, and they're scared to cross it into the box. And when they've got a very physical, big team, they're definitely bigger than us. They've got the height advantage over us, and they refuse to put crosses into the box, even when they're in very, very good positions. Now, that's one of the things that Peterborough caused us the most problems for in the game prior to this. And if Everett's done his research, which I assume he has done, for me, I'd have been looking at that Carlisle team thinking, right, they struggled stopping crosses into the box against Peterborough. We've got a very tall forward air department. Let's get some crosses into the box and score some goals, But they're constantly trying to find that perfect pass. They remind me of old school Arsenal, where they would just try and do a little too much. They're always trying to create the perfect goal. They want to do a pass around the box until we find the perfect through pass through the defence. But when you've got a pacey centre back like John Mellish, that's very difficult. And the way to go about beating Carlisle isn't to do that, because it's not going to work most of the time. The way to get at Carlisle at the minute is to, put as many crosses into the box as you can, because eventually something's going to drop. But hey, that's for Bolton to worry about. For us, we've beaten Bolton convincingly. We're going to come away with all 3 points. It takes us into a brilliant position in the table. We're up to 19th now. We're now a good 3 points away from the relegation zone. Having played pretty much all of the top teams now. You look at the table, we've played Oxford, we've played Derby, we've played Peterborough, Bolton. We haven't played Portsmouth, although that is coming very soon. Lincoln, who will be up there. You look at the table, the split, we've played hardly any of the bottom half teams, and we've played pretty much all of the top half teams at this point. And you look at the last 10 games, you take it in chunks of 10. These next 10 games, judged on league form, are going to be a lot easier than the 10 games we've just had. And take your own time to look at that. We've got Leyton Orient, who, they're a good team, but they're obviously not what Bolton, Derby, and some of these other big teams are. We've got Cambridge, teams that, according to the table, should be easier games for us. And I'm just looking forward to it now, because it's given me so much confidence now seeing this result. If we play like that every week, we could even finish, dare I say, playoffs. I'm not going to go that far, but easily mid-table, I think, if we can keep building at the minute. But yeah, thank you for watching. Sorry for rambling on a little bit today, but I'm excited about that game, and apologies for the video coming out late. Carlisle don't win as much as they used to, so you've got to take the opportunities to celebrate, haven't you? But yeah, thank you for watching. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and in a bit.